Hello everyone, welcome to the 8 PM stream of HRF1, round 15 of the season. We're at Zandvoort, Netherlands. Who just had me as a friend? Who's that? Sorry, I haven't taken any notice. Pete, hello. Okay, someone's just asked a question in the Discord saying some problem with the lobby. Well, I'm wondering, who's the PC player that's no named? The no named PC player. So I mean, oh, for goodness sake. Come on, who you? Put yourself in. I do wonder, is anybody else out there experiencing any issues at the moment, crossplay wise, getting people in to lobbies? I've noticed when I. Oh, hello, Mr. Whale. Sunfort's me in. Hey, boss man, it's time tomorrow. Yeah, I raced on Saturday, mate. Didn't last more than about 5 or 6 laps. Got shunted from behind, spun round, and then somebody drove into me, retiring me and him. Which is a little bit annoying because I've been in pole position for the championship on my Saturdays, mate, and my main rival wasn't there, so it was a great chance to pull away from him. But hey ho, shit happens. Um, yeah. Anyway, where I was going with the lobby thing. So I'm having issues at the moment. I've got people landed on my EA friends. I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen if I do this. So if I go invite friends by pressing X, nobody appears. It says there's 82 out of 253 friends online. Nothing appears. Absolutely nothing. I can't invite anyone. Can't do anything. So I have no idea what's going on. My next thing really, and look at crossplay as well. Look at the PC player and the PlayStation player. Their name things aren't even there. So it ain't right, is it? I'm genuinely thinking of reinstalling, getting rid of it and reinstalling the game. But the problem for me is my internet ain't particularly good. I mean, okay, it's good enough that I can stream and stuff, but it's not one of these. It's like a thousand MBS or whatever, and nothing like that. So, it takes me a little. This game takes quite a long time for me to download. So it's one of those. If I do it, I don't know how long it'll take, and when I'll next be available to stream or race. Yes, indeed. Well, it needs another update so they can fix that, but break something else. The other thing they break might not be as bad. But that thing that I showed with the invite friends, anybody might be watching now that went then. So nothing shows up. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but nothing shows up. Um, it's not just me having that issue. I know that for a fact. Other people are definitely having that. We have the night off Tuesday. Could do it then. I did think that, but I do JD's League at 6, don't I? Might just have to bite the bullet though. I'm racing myself tomorrow night, so I don't want to miss a race. Obviously here actually, I mean the Monday night league here, Baku. I'd say it don't look right. This lobby does it. I've noticed somebody saying in stream that some don't seem right. Well, do you want to jump in and race? Look, to fill it up a little bit. If you want to jump in and race, buddy, you can. Just having a quick gander fatal. See, it's a bit of practice. Fatal. I don't even know if I got fatal opponents friended, but if I have, he's not shown us online for me. Oh, you're stuck at work. Well, yeah. See if you can call it work. He sat there watching me. Ah, well, shame. What do you do then if you just are you a security man that doesn't really do anything, just watch telly and stuff all night? The Gooner has left a session. Hey, there we go. That's somebody gone already. That's a good start. Oh look, guys, I really think we should restart this lobby now. Just call it and just restart it. It's something ain't right. The PlayStation and PC guys haven't even got a name next to them. And the Gooner disappeared from the lobby, so I guess I can invite him back. No, I can't invite the Gooner back. Won't let me choose a gamer card. Yeah, okay. Restart the lobby, guys. Everybody out, please. Right, we'll get there, guys. Eventually. Right, I'll be back in just a second, guys. Right. That's what's just come up. It's happening again, like the PlayStation player that's just joined. The name isn't showing up. I mean, it has to be a crossplay issue. It's got to be because it affects in crossplay. Alright, guys. Well, as a league, we're doing the best we can. Can really basically thank coders and EA for this. You're a security guard for. You're a bouncer. Being paid to sit and watch you. Ooh. You're not really a bouncer, are you? Security guard for User's trophy cabinet. You're not really a bouncer. You're too shy to be a bouncer. Right, so we're still having issues. We've got a guy on the server called Who You is in. He's the PlayStation player where there's no name. But we've got two PC drivers that neither of them can get in, and they're regulars, so they're not. So it's like Corius and Chips. They're both regulars that drive every week. So there's clearly a current crossplay issue going on. There has to be. I don't know what that means. Online on Steam, in-game on Steam community WS errors. So does that mean that there's some sort of error connecting online? Okay, Steam services are down or something. Oh well. Sorry guys, but there's really nothing we can do about that. Um, you are too shy. Well, you're always shy when you speak to me. This is because you fancy me. All shy. Oh. Um, what are we up to anyway? We're doing a short qualifying, followed by 50% race. So with the issues, we're down to just the first 11 drivers on track. I think we were supposed to be having 14, so somebody else is missing as well. I think Fatal's missing. So well, Lismore's ended up in the wrong car. He's in a Merc, but as it's equal performance, guys, I would just suggest just go with it, and you can always change the points to McLaren afterwards. Not much else you could do. I'm gonna restart again off just for that, shortly. Let's just go with it. Right, back to the stream. Okay, so well, sorry for the delay getting started, but we are up and running. Let's go to Dagooner. He's first out. He's had a good bit of practice on Zandvoort. He drove here last night. No, Lismore. If you leave and rejoin, you'll still be in the Merc. So, you're still in the Merc. So the Gooner, Man City's retired in, but it looks like in sector 1, it's the right-hander, isn't it? What is it, turn 1, 2, 3, come in there, catch the curb, and bye-bye. She head straight for the ball. So Man City, mad, 97, will be starting down at the back. How did they get on today, Man City? I noticed that they were playing. My team drew 0-0 away to Man United. Oh, Man City lost. And it looks like it was Mo Salah. He was in my dream team, so that's handy, in a sense. Mind you, he's been terrible all season. Dream team purposes, anyway. Yeah, Mo Salah. Assisted by Alisson, so it was a Route 1 goal. Okay. Right, Hunter is out. So the Gunners managed to win 11-5. Sorry, I'm neglecting the stream because I'm worried about what's going on in Discord and that. The Gunner then 111-5. Junkie Emperor 112-0. 112-2 for Pete. 112-4 for Chris. Then we go down a little bit to 14-7 to Twiglet. X11 on a 17-0. Both those guys will improve substantially before the end. In our PlayStation, cross line 115-6. Lismore and Volungus on outlaps. So right, hopefully that's all sorted. Okay, in a way. Right, let's go down to Lismore. As you can see, driving in a Mercedes, but ignore that. That car is actually orange and black and pink. It's actually a McLaren. Let's come round. Where's Volungus? Actually, he's just up ahead of us, so let's just nip to Volungus, see where he goes. We'll nip back to Lismore. Oh, Volungus into the pits, okay. So back to Lismore then. He comes round the final corner. Heads to line 114.6, puts in P6 for the moment. Got a big spread at the moment at times. Twiglet's out there. Just see him through sector 2. Let's see how he's doing. Oh no, actually look at his time, he's not up. Definitely not. So probably on an in lap, to be fair. Who else we got then? Pete. He's on an out lap, so I'll tell you what, we'll go with Pete for the hilly hot lap tonight. So, no way to go yet. Oh, there's all sorts going on. So, yeah, thank you, Who. And, right, here we go then. So on board with Pete. It's actually quite like braking into turn 1. It's like a light apex. down to third or fourth for turn 1. Turn 2 is a nothing corner. Turn 3, basically avoid the curb like the plague. He's actually driving very, very slowly, so I don't think this is a proper lap. Not sure why. Definitely just did an outlap, so just going to move away. Let's find another driver. There's a Ferrari heading for the line. This is Junkie Emperor, right? So we're on with Junkie Emperor. To say, look at it's brake late into turn 1. Come down to third or fourth. I'd prefer fourth myself. Out to there, say turn 2 is a nothing corner, flat out through. Turn 3, be careful, avoid curves like the plague. Be careful on the exit if the bank in left, turn 4, but then it's effectively a straight. The only time any of this comes into account is if it's wet. Now you've got the quite odd right-hander, you've got to carry the speed all the way through really. And break down, stay in sixth, good shout. Into your third, take the curb on the inside, take the path of least resistance basically, allows you to open up the steering, head into the left-hander. Again, do not touch the curb on the inside, it's a curb of death. Head down with the RS open, down to fourth. Take some curb on the entrance. Being in fourth will allow you to accelerate better out of there. And then fifth for this one. Close to the inside curb, but don't touch it again. Then flat out through here. If you do end up in the wet, be very careful trying to go flat out through there. But in the end, Junkie Emperor improves by 1/10.5. And stays P2, but obviously makes it more difficult for anybody else to catch him. We're heading for the line, he's on night lap actually. Hey Hunter, thanks for joining, man. Sorry to see you at quali. At least there's only 11 you right there. Be able to make your way up, I'm sure. But, Chris then, can he do? I think catches sets of 1 time, so stick with him. So just over 2 temps up through sector 2. It's a nice improvement. It's that Alpine out of the way. Oh dear. That was who to or to who or who. Hooey. Quarter of a second improvement from Chris in the Williams. And again, stays P5, but slight improvement in time. I think he was maybe held up a bit there at the end. Into the pits for to who? To whom, surely. I've been watching too much Stephen Fry. So on with Lismore, half a second up through sets of 1 alone. That's some improvement. What is a pretty short sector. Is that a bit wide on the exit there. Nicely through the left hand hairpin note. Opens up the DRS. Heads to the end of sector 2. There he's still half a second up. Just over 8.5 temps up. Improvement and goes into P7 for Lismore. So I've just seen a message in Discord that's just thrown a red flag up to me. That's 11 out on track though. We've just seen him coming out though, so he's clearly on an out lap, even though it doesn't state it. Check. Just double check that by staying with him through to the end of set. Oh no, he's 2 tenths up. My apologies, not on an out lap. I saw that. I think I was a bit confused. There seemed to be an AlphaTauri coming out of the pits at the same time. That was Lungus then. So X11 who put in an absolute blinding performance last week. So he opens up with DRS here, heads down to the end of sector 2. See if we can do the same. He's 2 tenths down through sector 2. Did seem to me like maybe he'd eased off a bit, but is it going to be into the pits? I think maybe. Yeah, makes sense because he's got time to get in, new set of boots, and go out again. Lungus then currently on a 1:11.882. Let's see if we can improve that. Needs, if we say 3.5 temps, it's just under that, but say 3.5 temps, we'll see him take provisional pole. I don't think the Gooner's work for the day is done. I will say that. I think this was 8 temps down then. Just keep an eye on him. Oh yeah, he hadn't turned his energy on. He forgot to turn his energy on for a lap, unless he wanted to do a double out lap. Something I've been considering actually, doing 2 out laps on this game, because first out lap doesn't really heat your tyres up properly. So, considering doing that, doing a double out lap and then going for it on the next, on the 3rd lap instead. I just haven't tried it yet, see if it seems any better. So, here he goes again then. This time he has turned the energy on. So X11's back out on an out at 2 is out there. I'll call him to make it easier. I'll call him PlayStation, guys, because he's the only PlayStation player on the track. So 2 temps up for Volungus through sector 1. We've got a spinner in the final. Oh, Volungus is off track. Now, can he salvage another lap? He's already down to 38% on his energy. Haven't validated him. There was a Williams round on the final corner, which causing a yellow flag, but let's go to the Gooner then, who's just completed his out lap. The other Ferrari Junkie Emperor is also on an out lap. These guys have been vying all season. Pete's coming to some great form recently, and at the moment is splitting the 2 Ferraris on 1:11.795. See. Oh, and the Gooner's round, and he's lost his wing. So that's the end of the Gooner's qualifying session. Race cars coming round. Alfa Romeo's Twiglet, so he's on an out lap as well. X11, I think, is on hot lap. He is indeed 3 temps up in sector 1. Junkie Emperor's just started his lap as well. So after X11 finishes, we'll go straight to the other Ferrari. 6.5 temps up for X11 now. This is heading towards a time that may challenge pole position. Still needs to find a bit more. But, at the moment, he'd certainly be challenging for P2 or P3. Did he find much more in the final sector? It's 1:11.9. Actually only goes P5. So, bit of a loss in the final sector. Let's get to Junkie Emperor. 10th up through sector 1, about 200ths up through sector 2, so 0.13 in total. Be enough for P2 in itself. Comes around the final corner and opens up the DRS, heads to the line, 1:11.760. Does indeed put in P2 ahead of Pete, but Pete is also on a lap. And he's up 3 tenths already in sector 1. That's already enough lap time to take pole position. If he could just equal his PB on the other sectors. His teammate Twiglet is ahead on track, but I just don't want to... Oh no! Pete's lost all 3 temps in sector 2. So in that case, let's go to Twiglet, who is up. Head to the line, 1:12.3, as in P7. Back to Pete. He actually pitted in the end. Oh, what a shame for Pete. Actually improved enough in sector 1 that pole position was his. If he just stayed, well, managed to match his PB in sectors 2 and 3. Tahoo then, or PlayStation, heads to the line, doesn't improve on that lap, and is P9. So just waiting then for Pete and X11 to be pushed into the pits. Please remember, we take a break now between qualifying and race, usually about 5 minutes, so please, if you are a driver listening, do not ready up. The admin will ready up when it's time, but do not ready up yourself. Thank you. I'll be back shortly. Sorry, I'll just do the quick rundown. So the Gooner pole, real surprise on 1:11.5. I'll be honest, I did not expect that to stay pole. Junkie Amper P2, Pete P3, Valungus X11, P4 and P5, Chris P6, P7 for Twiglet, 8 is Lismore, PlayStation and P9, Lehman City and Hunter, who didn't get the laps on the board earlier on in the quali, will start P10 and P11. And now I'll take my break, so I'll see you shortly. Right, I'm back, guys. Hey Chips, sorry about that, man. I think I've read that there's a problem with the Steam network or something. So I don't know. I don't really know. I don't get into all that. I just turn it on, plug in and play basically. But yeah, from what I think X11 put in the chat. So we're readying up already, guys. I just noticed actually while I was taking a little break that there was a message saying that we won't be taking a break today. But leave a light a minute or so, a couple of minutes. So off we go. So the formation lap first. So yeah, Lycorius and Chips. I'm sorry for you guys. Couldn't get in. I wish you could. Have more drivers on track. But, it is what it is. So just looking at tyres, we got the Gooners opted to start on the hard tyres, and so has Twiglet. Everybody else is on the medium tyres except X11, who is starting on the softs. So that was my strategy last night, was actually to try a soft medium two-stop. One other driver in the same race as me attempted it. I unfortunately got murdered on about lap 6, so I don't know how it would have worked out. But they did well. The other driver did well with that strategy, so it can work. But it is usually interrupted by safety cars around here. Now, the thing is, it is usually interrupted by safety cars, but we've only got 11 drivers on track, so there is every chance that we won't tonight. It's usually fine in the cases. The less drivers on track, the less likely a safety car, but it's not always the case, mind. It doesn't always work like that. It's, I think the Ferraris are obviously favourites again, and they've split their strategy, which makes complete sense. I am promised, the two drivers have promised me that they are fighting to the end of the season now. There's no team orders left anymore. Pete looks to have good pace. Definitely had enough pace in him to take pole position, just wasn't to beat. And I have no doubt that if X11 had nailed a lap, he could have taken pole as well. Pole time, you know, the Gooners taking the pole, but ultimately the pole time wasn't particularly impressive. 1:11.5 is a good time, but not a time you'd usually expect to be taking pole position. But in a way, they are lined up. So I think we'll stick with this view. At least we can see everyone. Out go the lights. Ferrari seems to get away okay. But there's an Alpha Tauri absolutely fly. Well, both Alpha Tauris off to an absolute flyer. And oh, but one of them spun. One of them spun. And I think whoever it was has managed to. I just looked for a moment like somebody was going to hit him, but it was Lungus then who spun. Everybody else appears to have gotten away okay. I didn't see any contacts in that spin. It did just look like a driver error spin to me. But Lungus doesn't need to worry about it too much. It's got a long way to go. Lots can happen in this race, and a lot probably will, as PlayStation gets ahead there of Lismore. I think Lismore seems to be having a little issue. He's dropping behind Hunter as well, but oh, not quite. Hunter has to fall in behind him. PlayStation having a much better start to this race than he was shown in quali, which is good. X11 goes fastest then, started on those soft tyres. Is that Hunter into the pits? It is indeed. In comes Hunter, so maybe I was wrong. Perhaps he did, because it did look to me like a driver was on course to make a contact with Philungus when he spun at the start, so maybe it was Hunter, but I'm not sure. In a way, plenty going on track. We've got Pete Harris in the back of the two Ferraris, who in turn are trying to do something about the Alpha Tauri. It has flown off the line on the soft tyres. Next 11, you'd feel right now with a hard driver running behind him, should have the pace to be able to bridge a little bit of a gap. So, just heading down to Lismore. Not quite sure what happened there. It seems to be making a move, but then by the time I got down to him, he was going slow. As the DRS enabled this lap, so lap 3, of course, there's 2 DRS zones around this Dutch track. So, good obviously to watch this battle. Complete unknown in the PlayStation driver, but it's good to see him when we can. That is Lee Man City, I think. Yeah, he's caught onto the back as well. Oh. On board with Lismore. So they head down to turn 1. He's got the DRS. PlayStation leaves plenty of room. Comes back across. Let's take the line back. Plenty of room left by PlayStation there. But Lismore, with the DRS, able to get that job move done on that occasion. We go down to the Alpine teammates for this race. So, Lehman City on the back now with PlayStation. Just keeping an eye further up. X11 has extended his lead to 1.9 seconds. And still there's that sort of bit of a train going on behind Daguna. In my experience of the races last night, because even though I didn't last long in my race, I then did comms on a race after Tier 1, and I didn't notice it did take quite a long time for the hards to become as good as the mediums. So he may be doing a lot of defending. In fact, let's go to them, because he is defending right now. It's Junkie. So has a look. Daguna's held him off this time. If you needed any confirmation that there's no team orders going on at Ferrari now, and that they are fighting, I think we've just had it. Because that was pretty tough stuff, so... So now, X11, obviously out on the softs. Now, if no safety car comes out, I'd expect him to pit no later than lap 10. Lap 9's probably more realistic, but lap 10 would be the absolute maximum, I think. You can go on those softs. The wear on them by that point is probably losing about 1.4 seconds after 9-10 laps, so that was what I worked out from practice in a way before last night's race. I didn't get a chance to test that in theory in the race, but Junkie Emperor then to the inside with the DRS open into turn 1, gets the move done. Nicely done. Again, plenty of space left. And nicely done. Let's just head down to the 2 Alpines. Almost identical between them. It's Lee not able to get the move done on that occasion. To be fair, the racing from PlayStation looks fair. He's leaving room. So he's racing fairly. Oh, it's a little bit close, that one, for comfort. On both rounds, the Alpines have ended up gliding and spinning each other. Lungus will go past. Somebody, I think, was stuck then. Now, it seems to have gotten going. Okay. Okay, we've ended up with a safety car. And Lismore's picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. I think PlayStation just let Hunter through there. I think the game was telling him to do that. All a bit confusing sometimes under these conditions. But right, X11 obviously into the pits then, has to pit under the safety car. It'd be completely pointless staying out. Looks to me like it's hard tyres that are going on there. Yeah, that's definitely white walls. Yep, hard tyres. So on go to hards. Can he make it to the end? Truth is yes. Is it the fastest way to get to the end? Probably no. But they should take him to another safety car if there's going to be any. At which point we could then switch to the mediums. Or to softs if it was late enough. It's Valungus, Hunter, Lehman City and PlayStation all into the pits. Oops. Careful on those hards. PlayStation, they'll be very cold. So, just following the safety car then, catch up soon. The safety car will do up to 3 laps. It's going to be PlayStation who will be last to catch up. So, he's only heading on to the... He's heading onto the pit straight now. Safety car is down at like 207, so little way to catch up, but we'll do it easily within the time allotted. Lismore, of course, has picked up that, annoyingly picked up that drive-through penalty, speeding on the safety car, and he's actually in a McLaren. Not, well, he's in a Mercedes, but he's actually driving for McLaren. That was a mistake. That was an accident. Forgot to pick his car at the start, and it gave him a Merc. So, oh, safety car in this lap. PlayStation cooled up a bit quicker than I expected him to. So I was just thinking whether Liam or Lismore would pit this lap, you see, and stick some tyres on and then take the drive-through next lap, but obviously that's not possible now. He's going to want to take the drive-through straight away if he can, I would imagine. Gets him out of the way of any restart problems. That's the way I'd look at it. People tend to be a bit slower at the restart. So, but no, Lismore stays out to start with. Got an 8th gear, man. Let's use your 8th gear. Chunky Emperor up into the lead. He was leading already, but I think we come under attack there from the Gooner. Just held him off. So, medium tire guys choosing not to pit. To be fair, they're now only about halfway through their stints, so it would be a bit early. Personally, if I was on track, I would have pitted to hards to go to the end under that safety car, but only because there's only 11 drivers on track, so it's hard to, you know, the likelihood of another safety car is probably quite low, and see that the two Alpha Tauris have both opted to go to the hard tyres, so they're going for that. And let's just go down there actually, because Hunter is getting pretty close to this Alpha Tauri. Into the pits comes Lismore, the service drive-through. It's on the inside. The Lungus brake very late, but actually brake too late. Just allowed Hunter a chance back to get it done, but he couldn't, so Lungus does defend it in the end. Obviously Hunter and Lehman City will be wanting to, as best they can, take advantage of the soft tyres they're on. So we're going to be looking at a pit stop around laps 16, 17, something like that, those guys. So maybe slightly later, having done a few laps under the safety car, a couple of laps. But so DRS is enabled once more. They won't have it here though. So if Hunter can do this, it's going to be under power of the toe, but slipstream, but couldn't on that occasion. Lismore has picked up another penalty. What's he got there? He's got a 5 seconds, so I'm guessing he sped into the pit lane for his drive-through. It's always a gutter. Stick live this, and Lungus holding them off at the moment, and you never know, these little things you do at this point. I'm holding off soft tyres of Hunter at this point of the race could make a difference later on. You've got to choose your battles a little bit this day and age in F1. You completely understand Valunga's sort of turning around and saying, "Do you know what, the guy's on soft, so I don't particularly want to be fighting this battle right now." It's completely drained him of any energy to hold him back. See, I think Twiglet up the road there trying to break the toe. Soft tyres, can Hunter get round the outside? It looks like he can. Should have the advantage going into the hairpin. There's plenty of room. And that was some good racing there. And up the inside goes Hunter, then he gets the move done. And he's going to want to be quickly onto the back of X11. Who himself is challenging Twiglet. As the Gooner has had a spin. And he's lost his right end plate on the front wing. So that's going to be a pit stop. And PlayStation has also had to pit at the end of that lap. So he's in and swapping back to his medium tyres he started the race on. But I presume that was just some sort of damage. And normally he's had an instant coming out of the pits as well, PlayStation. So, Taguna then is in. So, new wing coming his way. Let's hope he's remembered to switch it to yes. And off comes the front wing, so it looks like he has. I actually commentated the race earlier on at Monaco, 6 o'clock, that driver completely lost his front wing. Came into the pits and it didn't switch it. Didn't put a new one on. So, more important than ever now to actually make sure you change that automatic to yes until they actually get round to sorting it out, you know. Obviously they've got more important things on their minds, but like making sure Kevin Magnussen's eye colour is correct or something like that. It's the battle for P2 at the moment. Pete in P2, and that is Valungis. Oh dear, after all that work holding Hunter off for so long, and Lehman City, he's had a spin, which has done all that work. It's, maybe not all of it. If he is intending on going to the end, then he would still make positions up through the pit stops, and there is a yellow flag. And it's PlayStation. It's being laps. Oh, and I think he's beached. So resets track there from PlayStation, but he was beached. So away he goes again. Like to see the new driver complete the race if he can, but he can't because he's crashed again. And I think that's going to be a safety car, and indeed it is. So I think actually if we go on board with Daguna, should see where he's crashed. Just be careful, Daguna. There he is. Actually right in the middle of the track, so I'm not quite sure he's managed that one. Clearly hit a wall and rebounded back onto the track. Daguna won't mind. It's going to help him crash up to the back. To some extent, he is, in a way. You know, he won't be too over the moon that everybody else is going to get to use the safety car to get rid of their pit stops, but there's a difficult position for guys that started on hards now. I think Twiglet's gone on, but actually he needs to pit. You can get to the end on mediums from here. It's a long way for him to go, mine. But 18 laps is good on the mediums. There's currently only 2 laps remaining. Obviously a couple of laps would be under safety cars, so I think better off pitting and going to the end on mediums than staying out and having to do a pit stop under race conditions. It's just that. So, unlucky Lycorius, yeah. Bloody servers. Well, it seems to be a Steam problem, isn't it? So, I'm trying to remember back to my race at 6 PM if there was any PC drivers in it, and I'm sure there was. Matex was in it. I'm sure drives in on PC. So that probably just makes it worse because that means it's something that happened since my 6 o'clock race between the two lobbies. So in comes Twiglet. So I think I agree. I don't think he really had much choice in the matter there. He's got to do it under safety car, otherwise. And he's opting for softs instead. Okay, that's interesting. So, well, it's quite interesting. I think the fact still remains that at some point he's going to have to do another pit stop. So, I'm guessing he's thinking I'm going to do 2 stints on softs. It's quite a long way for one set of mediums to go, but I mean, I know from last night and racing although my stint was very low, I did a practice beforehand, and then from commentating on at 8 o'clock, I know that mediums will get to the end. So I think it would have been better move. Hunter's on the mediums, looking to go to the end. So don't get me wrong. Of course, by the end, the last sort of 4 or 5 laps are going to be horrendous on the tyres, but we will get there. Safety car's in this lap, so we look to go again. Steam is fine. I thought that was what the problem was on the someone posted it in the Discord server, showing. Oh, I don't know. I'm not an expert in it all. In fact, I'm the last man you desk. So, oh, Valungis! What's he done? He's crashed on safety car. What has happened there? Well, I'm not sure what's happened there, but Junkie Emperor's gone. Pete reacts to him. Chris reacts, but not too brilliantly, and Hunter's going to get a chance. He's actually managed to outbrake him, and that was good defence there from Chris. So, let's broadcast. It's pretty mighty close. I think Daguner's having a look. Lucas leaves the session. He is indeed Daguner. So around the outside of Lehman City, who's going to come under pressure immediately from Twiglet. But difference is Twiglet's going to have to pit again. We know this. There's no way that you can get Sauce to go 20 laps around here, so it's an absolute definite. So X11 gets past Hunter and up into P4. Sorry, just a second. No, I don't. Don't forget, by the way, I've got to stay up tonight, mine, because I've got to wait for my mum. Right, so there's lots going on. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, we know the hard tire drivers will definitely get to the end. There's no issues there. The mediums of Hunter I'm confident of, but of course he's going to want to do anything he can to get up the order while he's got the better rubber than the hard guys. At some point that will change. It does take a little while around here. So it probably won't be for about 12 laps that changeover will happen between medium and hard tyres. So Twiglet be expecting in somewhere around lap 26. Unless he pits earlier and goes to medium tyres. Spectacular crash. Well, you're as bad as the people that watch the real life things see crashes. Right, DRS is enabled once more. So away we go. Let's see if we can catch Twiglet really close to the back of the gamer. So it's a sauce against mediums. There's more. Gets out of Lehman City. Looks like he holds that off. So, yeah, consolidates that as well. So up into P8, you can see if we can start catching the pack up a little bit now. So, difficult to know to watch right now. This fella, oh, there might be something going on behind there. That's who I'm trying to look for. And this is the Gooner at the inside of X11. Up into P5 now for the Ferrari man. And Swiglet has followed him through as well into P6. X11, I think. Probably a driver that's, well, obviously that last safety car has thrown this strategy out the window for the AlphaTauris. We've lost one of them in a way, but the idea was to pit to go to the end, not make up places under the pit stops when everybody else had to stop, but that last safety car has effectively ruined that strategy. Set to 2 yellow, and it's Man City. Having a tough time today. I've already seen Man City lose 1-0 to Liverpool. Sorry if anybody was waiting for match of the day. So, set to 3 yellow, and it's Man City again. I wonder if he's got some damage in that Alpine. We saw him have a moment with his teammate earlier. And wonder, it didn't seem like an incident though that would have caused him any other damage than anything other than front wing. So there's something else that's happened that we haven't seen. It's down Hunter. Close to the back of Chris. He's also got the Gooner all over his ass. A nice little train going on here. All for 3rd place. But a set to 3 yellow, and that is Man City once more. So it's starting to look a bit like maybe he's picked up some sort of other damage. Whether it be rear wing, undercar, or side pod, whatever. Into the pits he comes, and I think maybe a retirement coming up. We'll see. Probably not. It's guaranteed good points, but no. Retirement does happen in the pits from Man City. It's kind of felt that coming. So, as we lost both Alpines tonight. And he leaves the session also, so yeah, never. I mean, he was clearly struggling. There was spins going on all over the place, but never nice to lose a driver like that, and then just, you know, guaranteed double-figure points on the board. P9 was the lowest he could be, which is 12 points, I believe. Is it 14 points even? I think so. A lot of points to throw away, but the car was undrivable. Not much you could do really. So, and so at the moment, 9 laps in now on these mediums, and still got the Gooner right on the back of him. And just little signs, Chris has dropped him by 1.5 seconds Laguna's still on the back of him. Laguna's got a run here under DRS into turn 1. Just about. Aggressive from Laguna, but gets it done. As Twiglet pits then off of those soft tyres and onto a fresh set of mediums to go to the end. So, I don't certainly blame him for that, but I think certainly would have been better off stopping to the mediums under the safety car, but hindsight is a wonderful thing, as we all know. Certainly little signs, though, isn't there, that these hard tyres may be taking the, or have become the better tyre a little bit earlier than I expected, to be honest. I said about 12 laps. They've done 11 on the mediums, where the Gunner has. It's a little bit earlier than I expected, but nonetheless. So it does look like this race is between the top 3. I'm going to move to now, because actually the top 3 have all suddenly become a little train going on. So that could play into the Gunner and Hunter's hands if these 3 actually start battling, as Junkie Hammer has actually just extended his lead a little bit, so we'll drop to Pete. If these guys do start actually battling between each other, it could help the Gunner and Hunter on the mediums maybe keep up. I've got a little feeling we might see them switch to softs a bit later on. It was going to be a long way to push the mediums, but if they start getting pulled in by X11, for example, then maybe it'd just be better to pit. Go for a fastest lap, have a little fastest lap battle between them. This, at the moment, is our only battle on track. It looks like Pete's getting a bit better straight line speed than the Williams of Chris. They don't seem to be able to get close enough going to turn 1. Twiglet, the only one on track at the moment, still has a penalty, and he is catching the back of Lismore pretty quickly, so that might be a battle for later in the race. It's a long way to go. He's still 11.5 seconds back yet, so a long way to go, but when these guys cross the line, it will be 10 laps to go. Come out of the final corner now. Gunnar looks a little bit closer, but he is. It's only about a tenth and a half, but look a little bit closer. So it's frustrating when you're following a car that's got DRS and you keep catching them up through the lap, even if it is only by a couple of attempts. Then they just nick it all back under DRS on the straight. It's so frustrating. By the way, I'm man. I'd gathered that, man. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so you did have rear wing damage, unfortunately. Lucky man. Yeah, it's really tough this year with rear wing damage, particularly on a track like this. There's not many tracks that could be worse than this, actually. Rear wing damage. And here, Chris looks like he's got a better run this time. And he is ahead going into braking for turn 1. As Hunter picks himself up 5 seconds, he's pitting. He's pitting softs. And Chris got that move done very nicely on Pete. And he's up into P2. And that little battle look has enabled Daguna to catch up to a second behind. Hunter, by the way, came out in P7 behind Lismore. He's actually come out right in front of Twiglet. Obviously, he's got to get those softs up to temperature, but once he does, you'd imagine he'd start disappearing a bit. And they are about 9.5 seconds behind Lismore, so Twiglet's still eating into that gap. But probably not at a rate that's going to see him catch Lismore. But Hunter on the softs may well be able to do that. But, if they do, that'll be for later in the race in a way. But at the moment, we continue on with this battle. So Chris, having got into P2, is now chasing the Ferrari. And is already into the DRS zone. And back out the DRS zone. Back in each second, but probably more importantly, Daguna is right on the back of Pete. So let's go continue on. I wouldn't like to pick out of him at the moment. Daguna's got his teeth into that 1 second gap of Pete. He's proving very difficult for Pete to get rid of now, as Hunter demolishes the fastest lap. And in terms of driving, you have to say that Daguna's looking a bit more comfortable on those mediums at the moment than Pete is on the hards. So Pete just taking an extra wider line, and maybe it's slightly to do with pressure being put on as well, but doesn't seem to be having any real issues, does he, on the tyres? And looking at the condition of the tyres, they look pretty decent, considering they've done 18 laps, posted 19. Let's just go to Chris. He's really showing some pace, isn't he? He's got to run here. Potentially, we might just run out of tarmac. He's definitely got to run. Looks to me like he's got it. Battling there. But, Chris gets up into the lead for whatever reason. He seems to be able to just drive a bit better on these hards. Maybe he has a bit more confidence in him. Maybe a setup thing. So he just looks a bit like he's gotten back under control a little bit in this battle. I'm just keeping an eye further down, and Lismore is now getting pretty close to the back of X11, whose hard tyres are now 25 laps old. So perhaps X11 getting to the point where those hards are going to drop off. Oh, they really are, you know. Sorry, let's just go back to that, but I don't think anything was going to happen. He actually runs wide and almost invited the Gunner into having a go there, but Hunter sets another fastest lap in his pursuit of Lismore. Particularly want to move off this right now. This has just got heated up a little bit. So there's just signs that X11's hards are dropping off on him with just over 3 laps to go. And that battle further down has turned into a freeway as well. X11, Lismore and Hunter. But there's battles here, including one for the lead just a bit further up the screen there. Junkie. Well, since he got past Chris, or sorry, Chris got past him, despite the extra pace Chris seemed to have and the extra confidence in the hards, he's not able to actually turn that into lap time enough to get away from the Ferrari. It's all really tough. I'm just going to go down to this one. So this is X11 and the Tyree from Lismore, who, remember, is in that Mercedes, but he's actually driving for McLaren. Just he forgot to pick his car and it put him in the Mercedes. And that looks like Hunter getting past Lismore. It seems to have come a bit more from a Lismore mistake than a Hunter attack. And that was definitely in his attempt to brake later than Hunter to defend that position. Lismore unfortunately ran too wide. Has allowed Hunter through. He may well get the run here that he needs. So X11 moves to the inside to break the toe, moves back to the braking line. You're allowed to do that. To the racing line, sorry, not the braking line. What am I talking about? Racing line. That was the maximum amount of moves he could do. Obviously, if you move to defend the inside and the driver attacking you is then catches you and is on your outside, you can't just move over into him. Got to stick to the inside line, but yeah, if the driver that you're trying to break the toe from hasn't caught you before the braking zone, you can move back over to the racing line. Just noticing up the top actually that the Gooner's just dropped off the back of Pete. Looks like in the end he's going to settle for the P4. 23 laps he's completed on those mediums. They must be absolutely shot. Here goes Hunter once more to the inside of X11. X11 don't even need to fight this, you know. They will, because they're out there to have a bit of fun, but Hunter's got penalty, so he doesn't actually need to fight this. He keep the position anyway. It was a speeding in the pit lane penalty, so, you know, can't really argue with that. You either were or you weren't. Still fighting, please don't end in tears. Wow, it's great racing. Fantastic racing. We'll need to move up to the leaders in just a moment. Let's see this bit here. This could be the last opportunity for Hunter to do it on track. I need to move to the leaders. So no, he doesn't get it done. Up to the leaders then. Chris wins from Junkie Emperor. Pete takes the final podium spot. Daguna, absolute grand job on those 24 lap old mediums in the end. Told you they could get to the end. X11 then comes round and he is going to hold off Hunter on track. So X11 takes P5. Lismore is promoted to P6 because of Hunter's penalty. And Twiglet will, well, Hunter P7, Twiglet P8. Hunter in hindsight then might have wished he'd stayed out, bearing in mind where the Gooners managed to finish, but at least he managed to have a bit of fun at the end and he's picked up the fastest lap as well. The Game Awards and Driver of the Day. I won't be going there for my Driver of the Day, I'm afraid, this week, Hunter. But you had it last week, so you can't moan. Simply because if you do, it's a bit greedy, so don't. Celebrate on the podium. I'm trying to think of my Driver of the Day, and Chris taking a fantastic win, and it's hard to not give it to Chris, to be honest. Let me just double check when the standings come up, but I think that's who I'm leaning towards. I think our winner. So there we go. Just to confirm then, Chris wins. Well, he also wins from 6th on the grid compared to the others. So yeah, I think Chris is Driver of the Day today. So well done, my man. The win and Driver of the Day for Chris. Junkie Emperor P2, Pete and P3, both superb performances as well. Daguna P4, also a great performance. Did so well to take those mediums to the end. X11 P5. So far on those hard tyres as well. Did really well at the end to hold off Hunter in that fun little battle. Gave us a little bit of fun at the end. Lismore, very good race in P6. Hunter, P7. Twiglet brings it home, P8. Unfortunately, we lost Lehman City when he retired with rear wing damage. Volungus and the new driver, PlayStation, or to who, or who to, or to whom. There's an own Discord. But there we go. So another race done. What else can I say about a race? I mean, not a lot to say to sum it up. I mean, it was a race. It had some good racing. There was plenty of good overtakes. Lovely little battle at the end there between Hunter and X11. Really nice little battle between you two at the end. Yeah, there was plenty of overtakes. Most of it into turn 1. But, you know, it was fun. It was fun. It's a shame we didn't have more on grid. These things happen. Obviously, 2 couldn't join when they were there ready to go. But they couldn't join the 2 guys that were on PC. And they're regulars as well. So why they couldn't join, well, I don't know. But it's just a shame. But there we go. But yeah, it was a fun race. I enjoyed it. And that's the end for this week. So let me just have a quick gander. I'll tell you where we are next week. No worries, Chris. You drove absolutely superb, mate. Well done. And just Sunday calendar. There's another. Oh, we're at the Temple of Speed next week, Monza. So tune in for that one. Monza's always a good race. So please tune in for that one. Same time, 8 p.m. As for myself, guys, I'll next be live 6 p.m. on Tuesday for JD's League. Unfortunately, WAOF1 is on a week off this week, so no race this week, but they'll be back the week after. So yeah, I'll be here on Tuesday. Please join in for that. But as always, thanks to everybody that's watched live. Thanks to everybody that watches back. It's really appreciated, both for myself and by the least that I represent. So thank you to all of you. I'll see you again soon. And as for HRF1, we'll see you again next Sunday, 8 p.m. Thanks very much, guys. Good night.